गम गणपतिये नमो नमः, सिद्धिविनायक नमो नमः, अष्टविनायक नमो नमः, गणपति बापा मोरया।
ओम गम गणपते नमो नमः, सिद्धिविनायक नमो नमः, अष्टविनायक नमो नमः, गणपति बापा मोरया।
ओम गम गणपतिये नमो नमः, सिद्धिविनायक नमो नमः, अष्टविनायक नमो नमः, गणपति बापा मोरया।
ओम गम गणपते नमो नमः, सिद्धिविनायक नमो नमः, अष्टविनायक नमो नमः, गणपति बापा मोरया।
ओम गम गणपतिये नमो नमः, सिद्धिविनायक नमो नमः, अष्टविनायक नमो नमः, गणपति बापा मोरया।
ओम गम गणपते नमो नमः, सिद्धिविनायक नमो नमः, अष्टविनायक नमो नमः, गणपति बापा मोरया।
ओम गम गणपतिये नमो नमः, सिद्धिविनायक नमो नमः, अष्टविनायक नमो नमः, गणपति बापा मोरया।
ओम गम गणपते नमो नमः, सिद्धिविनायक नमो नमः, अष्टविनायक नमो नमः, गणपति बापा मोरया।
ओम गम गणपतिये नमो नमः, सिद्धिविनायक नमो नमः, अष्टविनायक नमो नमः, गणपति बापा मोरया।
ओम गम गणपते नमो नमः, सिद्धिविनायक नमो नमः, अष्टविनायक नमो नमः, गणपति बापा मोरया।
ओम गम गणपतिये नमो नमः, सिद्धिविनायक नमो नमः, अष्टविनायक नमो नमः, गणपति बापा मोरया।
ओम गम गणपते नमो नमः, सिद्धिविनायक नमो नमः, अष्टविनायक नमो नमः, गणपति बापा मोरया।
गणपति बापा मोरया।
गणपति बापा मोरया, गणपति बापा मोरया। हे शारदे माँ, हे शारदे माँ, अज्ञानता से हमें तार दे माँ।
शारदे माँ, हे शारदे माँ, अज्ञानता से हमें तार दे माँ।
हे शारदे माँ, हे शारदे माँ, अज्ञानता से हमें तार दे माँ।
हे शारदे माँ, हे शारदे माँ, अज्ञानता से हमें तार दे माँ।
तू स्वर की देवी, संगीत तुझसे, हर शाब तेरा है, हर गीत तुझसे। आ तू स्वर की देवी, संगीत तुझसे,
हर शाप है तेरा है, हर गीत तुझसे।
हम हैं अकेले, हम हैं अधूरे, तेरे शरण हम, हमें प्यार दे माँ। हे शारदे माँ, हे शारदे माँ, अज्ञानता से हमें तार दे माँ। मुनियों ने समझे, गुनियों ने जाने, फेरों की भाषा, पुरानों के बाने। मुनियों ने समझे, गुनियों ने जाने, फेरों की भाषा, पुरानों के बानी। हम बे तो समझे, हम बे तो जाने, विद्या का हमको अरेकारे माँ शारदे माँ शारदे माँ अज्ञानता से हमें तार दे माँ तू श्वेत बरननी कमल पे विराजे आतों में वीणा मुकुट सर पे साजे तू श्वेत बरनी कमल पे विराजे आतों में वीणा मुकुट सर पे साजे मन से हमारे मिटाते अंधेरे हमको उजालों का संसार दे माँ शारदे माँ शारदे माँ अज्ञानता से हमें तार दे माँ शारदे माँ शारदे माँ अज्ञानता से हमें तार दे माँ अज्ञानता से हमें तार दे माँ अज्ञानता से हमें तार दे माँ
प्रभु जी प्रभु जी प्रभु जी सुख का सागर है प्रभु जी प्रभु जी प्रभु जी सुख का सागर है सुख करता दुख हरता पावन परमात्मा है प्रभु जी प्रभु जी प्रभु जी सुख का सागर है सुख का सागर है सुख का सागर है सुख का सागर है तू कौन जो अष्टी है मोबी जो डगर भी है माँ बे के वन में अब तो ईश्वर है दूधे जो पार लगाता दूधे जो पार लगाता पूजन परमात्मा है सुख करता दुख हरता पावन परमात्मा है प्रभु जी प्रभु जी प्रभु जी सुख का सागर है जीवन एक उलझन है बातों में न बस जाना जिस राह में राम मिले उस राह में बस जाना एक बार जो शरण में आता एक बार जो शरण में आता लो पूलन आत्मा है सुख करता दुख हरता पावन परमात्मा है प्रभु जी प्रभु जी प्रभु जी सुख का सागर है सब प्रभु को अर्पण करना, साधु के संग में रहना, सच की माला तो जपना, रो खाली झोली भरता, लो खाली झोली भरता, ऐसा परमात्मा है। सुख करता दुख हरता, पावन परमात्मा है। प्रभु जी, प्रभु जी, प्रभु जी सुख का सागर है, सुख का सागर है, सुख का सागर है, सुख का सागर है।
प्रेम से बोले श्री वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय. Devotees, this morning I mentioned that we'd look at very briefly. I know a lot of people are down with the virus, myself included. So we'll try to be short today. And next week we have our Saraswati Puja because of the restrictions of Carnival Tuesday in the location where we are. So we'll be having it on next week Sunday. Full Saraswati Puja and offering to Saraswati Mata, and those who have anything to bless and all of those things, you can do it as well. So next week Sunday, Saraswati Puja. So we'll be very brief, and I'll be looking at chapter 4 in the Srimad Bhagavad Gita. But before we do so, we recite Gita Dhyanam. Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha At Shri Bhagavad Gita Dhyanam. Om Partaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Gratitam Puraramunina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitamritavrishiniim Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayinim Amba Tvam Anusandhadhami Bhagavad Gite Bhavadveshinim Namostu Te Vyasa Vishal Buddhe Pullarda Vindayata Patra Netra Ena Tvaya Bharata Tailna Purnaha Prajvalito Jnanamaya Pradepaha Prapanna Parijataya Tutra Vetreka Parnai Jnanamudraya Krishnaya Gitamrita Duhe Namaha Sarva Upanishado Gavo Dugdha Gopalanandanaha Partho Vatsa Shudhir Bhokta Dugdham Gitamritam Mahata Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsa Chanuramardanam Devaki Paramanannam Krishnam Vande Jagat Kurum Mukham Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langhayate Girim Yat Kripatamaham Vande Paramanannamadhavam Yam Brahma Varunindra Rudra Marutaha Stunvanti Devyaistave Vire Sangapada Kramopanishade Gayanti Yam Samagaha Dhyanavastita Tatkatena Manasa Pashyanti Yam Yogino Yasyantam Navido Sura Suraganaha Devaya Tasmai Namaha Devaya Tasmai Namaha Hari Om. Prem se bole Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki jai. So devotees, I want to ask a question, a simple question. I like to be a little thought-provoking or try to inspire some thinking. Which is the correct religion? Or how many? Let's look at a easier question. How many religions, faiths, beliefs are there? How many? What are the major ones in Trinidad and Tobago, for example? We consider ourselves Hindu or Sanatanist Hindu. What else? What else? What are some you all do have religious faiths? Different. Christianity, Islam, Muslims. What else? Well, Catholics are considered Christians. Okay, so Christians are considered those who are believers of Christ. So, for example, Jews are not considered Christians because they do not believe in the New Testament. Jehovah's Witnesses are not considered Christians, are they? No, because they don't believe in Jesus as being part of God or the God entity. In Christianity, there are many different sects, many different versions, correct? And then there are the Mormons, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, who also believe in another text called the Book of Mormon. So which, now trying to answer the second question, which is the correct form of religion? Or which is the correct form of worship? And if there is no correct form, why do we subscribe to Sanatana Dharma? Why are there so many wars? Why are there so many differences? Why is there so much agitation based on religious beliefs? Now, we look at what's happening in Israel and the West Bank and Gaza Strip and different parts of Palestine. And we ask ourselves, is that religious based? Do you think it's religious based? Or does it have to do with land? Or is it both? Maybe both, right? But why do we subscribe to Sanatana Dharma? And why, or is it the correct form of worship? Because in life, that's what people tell me. Baba, I just want to do the right thing. Correct? We live our life like that, no? Trying to do the right thing. But what is the right thing? We have all been told not to tell a lie. But ain't we just lie to each other all the time? And we just do it. And we just say, well, that's a small white lie, a little white lie. But we are told we should not. And what makes telling a lie a different or a lesser of a sin than murder, for example? We don't know because we can't judge. So we start to think now what it is, or to follow a religion. What is a religion? What is spirituality? What is the difference and the similarities, and what should we adopt in our life to live, as we say, the correct life? Now, I'll preface that by saying right and wrong, listen carefully, right and wrong are subjective things based on the society in which we live. Tell me if that's true or false. Right and wrong, they are subjective. Do you know that in Papua New Guinea, up to the 40s, I believe, cannibalism was still practiced? Eating of human beings was still practiced. Do you know that slavery exists still today in certain parts of the world? Is that right or wrong? It depends. Do you know that the Bible, for example, explicitly condones slavery? Explicitly says that you must treat your slaves X, Y, and Z? In the United States, they worship who is the founding father of the United States? They call him the founding father, first president of the United States. Anyone? Younger ones? George Washington, correct? George Washington in, what was it, 1776? When the US got independence. He's called the founding father. But he owned slaves. He owned slaves, and it was legal to do so. Whether it was moral or not, that's a different story. But according to the law, it was right to do so, to own slaves. And most of the founding fathers of the United States would have owned slaves. But we know now slavery is a repulsive system, or was a repulsive system, still is. And we won't condone that now. So when we say, even in our own faith, which is the correct way to do puja, which is the correct way to pray, which is the correct or the right way to offer, people are continuously ask these questions. And I want us to look now at Shloka 11 in chapter 4. We chant Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. And we listen to what Bhagwan Shri Krishna, what he says in the Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam
Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama.
Ye yatha mam prabhadyante tam stathaiva bhajamyaham mama varthamanu vartante manusha partha sarvasha. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. 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 Prem se bole Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki Jai. Anyone read? Shloka 11.
Arjuna, howsoever men seek me, even so do I respond to them, for all men follow my path in every way.
Okay. So, that's the same translation you would have, right? So it says, Ye yatha mam prapadyante tam tathaiva bhajamyaham mama vartamanu vartante manusyaha partha sarvashaha. Partha, O son of Pritha. Pritha, the parent of Arjuna. He says, O Partha, O Lord Krishna, O son of Pritha, Ye yatha, ye, whoever. Now we're analyzing each word. Ye yatha, whoever in this world, yatha, whatever means, by whatever means, mam, prapadyante. Prapadyante means worship. Mam, worship me. Through whatever means, however, and whoever worships me, tan tatha. In that way, in that same way, aham bhajami, I accept. Manusyaha sarvashaha, everywhere. Mama Vartma. In all parts, they follow. He says, whoever meaning, it does not matter your age, your gender, your financial situation, your social situation. It does not matter the color of your skin, the texture of your hair. It does not matter. Whoever, this is what he says. Yea, whosoever, yet through whatever means. Now, that's where the little problem comes in there. Through whatever means. Now, we are given certain things that we are told is right or is the correct way to do things. For example, arati, when we take the thali and we do arati, which way is it? Clockwise or anti-clockwise? Clockwise means according to the clock, right? Is it clockwise or anti-clockwise? Or counterclockwise. I don't know if you all know. It's done clockwise. And we are told that's the correct way. Well, except for the lingam, which our tradition is that we offer it this way. But there are people, for example, if you look at one of my videos, I would send it on a group, you'd see that when they do Ganga Arati, for example, in Varanasi, they do different, they wave the lights in different ways, different format. Yeah, they do it differently. When we are asked to put the palm leaves on the bedi, we do it with the tip facing downwards because that's recommended. And I use the word recommended. So some people may interpret this verse to say, in whatever way, meaning I could worship how I want. I can worship how I want. And that is true. However, there are recommendations based on those who have insight and who have experience and who have knowledge and who can advise. We listen to their recommendations. So for the younger ones who can say, you know what, I could do what I want. I just doing what I want. I doing what make me happy. So you do what makes you happy. Which is what? Which is what exactly? We search for the happiness, but we find that it's temporary. So it does not mean, it means yes, in whatever means, but according to time, place, and circumstances. And I mentioned last week that no two places, not even in Trinidad and Tobago, they worship the same way. For example, I can tell you, I do funerals, I officiate at funerals, and there's in Felicity, you all know the funeral, I don't know how many of you all would have gone to any funeral in Felicity, Lacancaria cremation site. Anyone would have gone there? Nobody? Right. So in Felicity, the villages, they have a different tradition. How many pindas do we normally make for a funeral? 5? Not so? And then we offer 2 the next day at the Kushgrass and then 1 at the funeral pyre. But they offer 6. That's their tradition in that little village there. And they offer 1 into the funeral pyre. So there are certain differences. We are not to judge what is right and wrong, you know. We have to decide what is applicable to us, what is recommended for us. So he says that whoever worships me, by whatever means, I will accept it, because there is something even more, even greater and more subtle than the manner in which you offer. And that is your intent behind your offering. Devotees, if all I have to offer, I don't have any gold to put on the Bhagavad Gita, because the pundits say you have to put a gold chain and a gold ring. The Mahapatars say that, or the pundits say that, when you offer for your bandhara. And if you feel that you're smiling and you feel that is joke, I don't know joke, huh? I don't know how many of you all would have seen some, I know the Satsang group would have seen some lists that I would have sent. gold chain, gold ring. But if I don't have that, or I can't afford that, is my devotion, or is my shrad, or is my Gita part incomplete? If I just can't afford to do that. If I can't afford to do a puja, there are many people who rent in apartments and are unable to put up a jhandi, or are unable to do puja at home. Are they less of a Hindu or less of a spiritual person than I am? Because I come to Mandir, or because I have puja at home, and I invite this one and that one, and no devotees. Each is dependent on his own way. That subtle idea of the manner in which I offer, how I offer it, I may not know better. That doesn't mean that I have to stay in that ignorant form, meaning not knowing. I should always strive to know. But if this is what I know and this is how I offer, then fine. Bhagavan says, I will accept it. Because he says, Patram pushpam phalam toyam. Offer to me a patram, pushpam, a leaf, a flower, a fruit, a drop of water, but offer it with bhakti, devotion. But this is something that somehow we've lost. Because I have to get this, I have to get that amount, I have to get 21 laddu, 32 laddu. Devotees, if all I could afford is 4 laddu, or 2 laddu, or 1 laddu. Do you think Bhagwan, do you think Lord Ganesh will be vexed with me? This is what I have? No, devotees. Yes, we strive, and we will strive for what is recommended. But sometimes we fall short. And we fall short at home too. And sometimes we cook in baigan and aloo every day, every week. But then sometimes we just put a little too much salt or a little less salt. It happens occasionally, huh? Or sometimes we roti don't come out exactly round. You know, if you ever see my roti, it's come out like different maps, like Trinidad. One come out like a map of Trinidad. But it's well, at least. Sometimes we fall short. And we are living in a society, devotees, that when people fall short, what we do, we laugh at them. We condemn them. We criticize them. This is the society with which we live. We take a picture and we laugh. We don't uplift our fellow man. We don't try to help them. Now, devotees, there are other things. Sometimes you try to help and you end up in problems. Ask me, I could tell you about those things. Sometimes you try to interject and you see something going wrong and you try to say something and, well, Ade, you hear the worst of things about yourself. So you see me, you know, people now taking these, they put in lip implants like Angelina Jolie. No, I want my lip to get a little smaller. I don't want to push in my lip in anything. So sometimes, yes, in our eagerness, we see something, a situation is about to happen, and we make a decision, a conscious decision. And as spiritual leaders, sometimes we have to face that. We have to face that. Make a decision in the best interest of the person. And they may not see it now, devotees. When Shanti was 16 years old, we followed plenty times, you know. We still follow sometimes. But if you see leadership in someone, and you try to bring it out, and they may not see it in themselves, but you give them belief. We don't laugh, we don't condemn, we don't criticize, or we should not. If it's constructive in nature, then that's fine. And devotees, this leads me to another problem. Yesterday was Calypso Fiesta, that's what it's called. You know, we lost a great Calypsonian last year, Denise Plummer. Denise Plummer passed away. But I don't know how many of you all were old enough to remember Denise Plummer's first foray into Calypso Fiesta in San Fernando. What happened to her? Toilet paper, tissue paper. Almost everybody was thrown at her, pelted at her. That was the reception that she got, and she stuck at it, and then she won the Calypso monarch, and she is now considered the Calypso queen of the world, right? She stuck at it. Not everybody has that patience, eh? Not everybody will do that. But devotees, something that they did not, something that was different, they decide to condemn and criticize. If you're doing it, do it across the board. Okay? So he says that however you come to me, but do it with devotion. Why don't we uplift each other? Assist each other? Inspire each other? Rather than condemn, criticize, and get... Nothing travels faster. You know what travels faster than the speed of light? Bacchanal. Bacchanal and bad news in Trinidad travels faster than the speed of light. You will be surprised. You will leave your home, reach somewhere, some part, Toko somewhere, and word about you reach before you. And then there are those who use that to propagate themselves. It is our business, yes, to mind our own business. Correct. But if you hold yourself up to be a leader in society, if you hold yourself up to be that, then you have to be aware and you have to accept everything that comes with that. The standard that which you will be judged will be higher than that of anyone else. You can still do as you please, you know. However, be prepared for the backlash. So we'll talk about that some other time. Maybe not on Singasa. Very interesting. So he says, whoever worship me through whatever means, I will accept it and bless them in that way. If you come to me with worship that is not sada, I will bless you, but I will bless you in that way. If you come to me and you take a life to worship me, he says, I will accept, you know, if it's done with devotion. But I will bless you in that way. And the thing is, when you take life and when you don't do things like that, the reward that you get will be immediate, just like life. But just like life that you took, what will happen? It will be severed and cut away just as quickly. And the problem lies is when we are unprepared to repay that. And that's the problem. This is why I always recommend to do things in a sada, subtle way. I'm not condemning any type of worship. I'm just saying for our benefit. For our benefit. There's a reason why our saints and sages moved away from that type of worship. There's a reason why they did that. So, let's look at the next shloka. We chant Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, the second and final shloka for this morning. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama.
Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama,
Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Kang Santah Karmanam Siddhim Yojante Devata Kshipram Hi Manushe Loke Siddhir Bhavati Karmaja Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, 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 Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Prem se bole Vrindavan Bihari Lal Ki Jai. Okay, somebody read.
In this world of human beings, men seek the fruition of activities worship the gods for success born of actions, follows quickly.
Okay. So that's fruition, right? Kakshantah karmanam siddhim yojanta iha devataha क्षिप्रम ही manushe loke siddhir bhavati karmaja. She says, in this world, manushe loke, in this human existence, in this human world, manush means manusha means man, and loka means world. In this human world, human existence, those who want the fruits of actions, their desires, they worship devatas. They worship deities. And for such men, the fruits come very quickly. The fruits of their actions come very quickly. If you have a desire for something and you worship God in all devotion, and you want that desire to hasten, to come quickly, he says, I will grant that. I will grant it. But it comes only in this world. Now, I've always said the highest form of prayer is praying and you ask for nothing in return. Nothing in return. We all pray for something. All of us, we say we have a desire. We have a desire for better financial situation. We have a desire for the health and strength of my parents. We have a desire for the success of my children. We have a desire for my own success. And we pray. And we ask God. And I mentioned that sometimes we have to be careful that it's not a trade-off. It's not a business arrangement that we're making with God. At some point in your devotion, you're supposed to be so absorbed that you don't even care about what you want. You are just devoted and you pray just for praying's sake. Just for that. Have we reached that point? Or are we still coming to the altar and praying for something all the time? I'm not saying not to pray for something. I mean, that's the purpose of performing karma in some form. But how often do we do that? Is it always, God, I've given you this agarbati, I've given you this flower, I want this and I want that? Or is it that we are just so absorbed in that devotion? Can we do that? Can we reach that stage? So he says they worship the deities, and he doesn't mention any particular deity. He doesn't say that God is worshipped only in the form of Durga Ma, or only in the form of Lord Ganesh, or Shankar Bhagwan, Lord Shiva, or Jesus, or St. Francis, or St. Thomas, or the Dalai Lama, or Sai Baba. He did not say that. He says in various manifestations, various forms, God is worshipped. Do you know that the Vedas never mention Lord Shiva? Lord Shiva is not mentioned in the Vedas. The word Shiva is not mentioned as a deity in the Vedas. But yet we worship Lord Shiva. There's an entity called Rudra that is mentioned. And we superimpose Lord Shiva on that deity. And the Vedic deities of Vayu, the god of the wind, and Indra. Indra is probably the most important deity worshipped in the Vedic period. The god of rain and the chief among the gods. But we don't do Indra Puja. When last you do an Indra Puja? Not that your mother named Indra and you just do arti for she. No. Our type of worship, we have changed and evolved, and some people have said that it works to our detriment. In Valmiki Ramayana, for example, Hanumanji is not pictured with any tail or anything like that. He's not even pictured as a monkey. He's depicted as a Vanara, one who belongs to that in the forest. But Tulsidasji, due to his insight and understanding this is what people need, he decided that he's going to write the Ramayana and make it in a, and when I mean romantic, I don't mean in a romantic as in boy girl kind of thing. He makes it in a way that we feel it evokes that devotion, because that was necessary. In today's society, devotees, Vedanta is important in touching on those principles and in trying to elevate us. But not everyone can appreciate and accept those things at the same time. And grasping a wide audience is important. Devotees, I can come and speak and get training and speak on the highest form of devotion and so on, and I can have one person in the audience. Am I fulfilling my duty? No, I don't think so. We need to get to reach out to a larger number of people. We'll look at one other shloka, the final shloka, and then we'll close for this morning. So I won't bother sing it again. My voice is slightly low. So look. Chatur varnyam maya shrishtham guna karma vibhagashah tasya kartaram apimam vidya aktaram avyayam. Somebody read? That's shloka 13.
The four orders of society, the Brahmana,
The Brahmins,
Brahmans,
Kshatriyas,
Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Shudra were created by me, classifying them according to the gunas predominant in each and appointing corresponding duties to them, though the originator of this creation know me, the immortal Lord, to be a non-doer.
Okay, so that does 13 and 14 together there, or that was just 13? Okay. All right. So we look at shloka 13, and this is a often controversial, but very important shloka. When you travel and when you look at society, and to me, in my observation, there is no greater tragedy in the world than one man feeling that he is better than someone else. There's no greater tragedy. And what makes it worse is that one man feels inferior to someone, man or woman, and there is no way out. There is no way out. So it says, Chatur Varnyam Maya Shrishtam. Chatur Varna. The fourfold divisions of Varna. And it is translated many times to mean the word caste. The caste system. We've heard that. We always hear about it, not so? Chatur Varnam. Varnyam. Maya Shrishtam. Guna Karma Vibhagashaha. He says, I classify people into this four varna. And I want us to use the word varna. The word caste, C-A-S-T-E, is a Portuguese word that was introduced in India. You know the Portuguese had portions of India, Goa. There are some, up to now, even parts of Sri Lanka was under Portuguese rule. You ever notice there are some cricketers who have a Portuguese names? Aravinda de Silva. He was captain of Sri Lanka. Da Silva is and we have a Da Silva playing for the cricket team too. Da Silva is a Portuguese name. Dilip Mendes, you remember that? Dilip Mendes, the older ones would remember that. Portuguese. So they're portions of India, when India was being looted, India at one time controlled 25% or 23 to 25% of the world's wealth, the world's GDP resided in India when the British reached. And by the time the British left, it was 6%. Anyway, that's another story. The word castos, it comes from the word castos, a Portuguese word. And that has nothing, absolutely nothing, unequivocally nothing to do with birth. Nothing to do with birth. Nothing to do with the last name. It is clearly stated here. The highest of all scriptures. Sarva Upanishado Gavo. If all the Upanishads are cows, Dugdham Gitam Mritam Mahata. The Gita is the milk. The essence of all the Gita, of all the Upanishads is stated here. You see, when the British came to India, they saw a way to propagate. I'm not blaming the British, because it was there long before. But they saw a way to propagate. There is something called jati. Jati has to do with janma, how they are born, the circumstances in which you are born. Varna, which the Lord says was created by me, has nothing to do with that. But they saw a way that you can amalgamate these to keep certain individuals who carry a certain last name or who are born into a certain way at a higher echelon. The caste system is not mentioned in the Vedas at all. It is only one portion, one called the Purusha Suktam. Om Sahastra Sherisha Purushaha Sahastraksha Sahastrapatsa Bhumim Vishwato Vritva. The Purusha Suktam mentions that society is like a man, a human being, Purusha, a Purusha. Where the head, and this human being is not pictured standing up, that's the thing. This human being, scholars have said it's pictured lying down. The head controls the thoughts and the thinkers. And there are people in society who are thinkers, not so? The academics. The shoulders, they are the Vaishyas, shoulders and they are the Vaishyas. They are the ones who are involved in trade. We have the section under that. The shoulders and the arms are the Kshatriyas. They are involved with protection. The section under that, which is concerned with digestion and all of those areas, the torso, that is the Vaishyas. They are the tradesmen. They keep the wheels of the economy rolling. And the legs and the feet are considered the Shudras. The Shudras actually propagate the entire Purusha. And we have somehow incorrectly ascribed the caste system to this entity and ascribed jati and varna as one. And devotees, I want to make it abundantly clear, as long as we continue as Hindus to propagate that, the Western world and the world in general will have an issue. Because it tells a person that is born in a certain circumstances that you are not entitled to learn the scriptures, or you are not entitled to fight in the army. And devotees, that's not so. As I told you last week, the taxi driver, he was very proud to say that he's Brahman. I am Brahman. He's born Brahman. His name is Pandey. So he's born Brahman. And he does not see the irony of the fact that he is taking up my suitcase and driving. Devotees, the Lord says, Bhagavan Shri Krishna says here, he says, society is divided. That's how there is a division in society. But it is based on guna karma vibhagashaha. Guna means your inherent qualities, your disposition. If you are always antagonistical and you are always looking for a fight and you're adversarial, then devotees, you're not a Brahman, no matter what your last name is. If you're always looking for confusion and bacchanal, then you're not a Brahman. If you use your position and you're only studying money and fame, and then you're not a Brahman. Because your guna does not think that. You are only studying money. You ever notice that? Time we wake up and see. Whenever we are told, Betty, you go put a Dachna there, put a Dachna there, make sure put a Dachna here, and put a Dachna there. Everything is Dachna, Dachna, Dachna. Now we have to treat those who uphold dharma, we have to treat them well. I make no apologies for saying that. We have to. Guna, your inherent qualities. If you are a loving person, a peaceful person, if you are looking for the best interests of someone, if you are educated, if you analyze the scriptures, then devotees, you are a Brahman. Guna, that's one. The second part is the karma, the work that you do. Work or the karma that you are engaged in. You can't be driving a taxi, not studying scriptures, and consider yourself a Brahman. No, it doesn't work like that because you carry a last name. It does not work like that. Clearly, if ever there is any doubt, Shloka 13, chapter 4. Chatur varnyam maya shrishtam guna karma vibhagashaha. This fourfold division was created by me, but it is varna, not jati, varna, based on guna and based on karma. There is nothing like that. We have this tendency to think that, we are better than somebody else because I have a certain last name. I carry a certain last name. In which realm, devotees? Where are you better than someone else? Where is it stated? We like to say that. And, oh God, don't talk about the high collar ones, right? This is why the true Dravidians are darker skin and they consider themselves purer. Because they did not entangle with that. They do not have that bloodline or much of that bloodline. Of course, now with all the intermarriage and children and so on, it's different. But devotees, having a fair complexion does not make you better than anybody else. I'll say that again. And I'm not saying that because I of the darker hue. I'm just saying that. It is a projection that we have been given. It is a projection that we have been given. And we have to start breaking the shackles of people putting us in boxes and telling us this we have to believe and that we have to believe. Let us all uplift ourselves. Devotees, this is one of the few manners, and I can say this without fear or favor, that is at the center of everything comes education. Learning. At the center. That it pervades everything. Yesterday I had a little discussion with someone who did some hampers for Mandir and so on, and people were saying that those things not doing anything for the Mandir. And devotees, I disagree. A Mandir has to be a place in the community as well, and we do that. This is why we have been insistent on continuing with this, with giving the less fortunate. We have continued with that. If there are crime talks, talking about crime in the country and so on, we go to these things. We represent our interests as a entity in the community. So as a Mandir, we have to be a part of all of that. But devotees, I don't want anyone here to feel because of your last name or because of your social standing or because of your wealth or lack of, that you are better, superior to, or inferior to anyone else. Anyone can do this. Anyone can be up here and read scriptures. Once you have the drive, once you maintain the lifestyle, you can do that too. Male or female, it does not matter. Whatever age, it does not matter. Don't confine yourself. So these are some ways, Prem se bole Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki jai, that I hope we take heed. We have our Havan now, and then we'll close with Arati.
As we light the Havan gun, Om Shri Agni Namaha. Offer water. Om Sarva Papaharam Divyam Gangeyam Nirmalam Jalam Achmanyam Maya Dattam Grihana Parameshwara. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha Swaha. Om Shri Saraswati Namaha Swaha. Om Shri Gurave Namaha Swaha. Om Shri Agni Namaha Swaha. Om Mata Pita Charna Kamalabhyo Namaha Swaha. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Namaha Swaha. Om Namah Shivaya Swaha. Om Shri Ashtalakshmi Namaha Swaha. Om Shri Durgaya Namaha Swaha. Om Shri Hanumate Namaha Swaha. Om Shri Mahakali Matabhyo Namaha Swaha. Om Shri Kalabhairo Bababhyo Namaha Swaha. Om Shri Radha Krishnaya Namaha Swaha. Om Shri Sita Ramachandraya Namaha Swaha. Om Shri Suryani Naugahadevotaya Namaha Swaha. Om Shri Sthanadevotaya Namaha Swaha. Om Shri Gramadevotaya Namaha Swaha. Om Shri Ishtadevotaya Namaha Swaha. Om Shri Kuladevotaya Namaha Swaha. Om Shri Vasudevotaya Namaha Swaha. Om Shri Yugadevotaya Namaha Swaha. Om Pranaya Swaha. Om Apanaya Swaha. Om Vyanaya Swaha. Om Udanaya Swaha. Om Samanaya Swaha. Om Bhu Swaha. Om Bhaha Swaha. Om Swaha Swaha. Om Maha Swaha. Om Janaha Swaha. Om Tapaha Swaha. Om Satyam Swaha. Gayatri Mantra. Om Bhurбhuvah Swaha Tatsavitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat Swaha. Om Bhurбhuvah Swaha Tatsavitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat Swaha. Om Bhurбhuvah Swaha Tatsavitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat Swaha. Om Trayambakam Yajamahi Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanam Mirchamukshiyamamritat Swaha. Om Trayambakam Yajamahi Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanam Mirchamukshiyamamritat Swaha. Om Trayambakam Yajamahi Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanam Mirchamukshiyamamritat Swaha. Om Sarvadevatabhyo Namaha Swaha. Om Sarvadevibhyo Namaha Swaha. ॐ सर्वदेवता सर्वदेवी ब्राह्मणेभ्यो नमः स्वाहा.
Devotees, let us please stand for Purnahuti. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Sarvam Vai Purnamyo Namaha Swaha. Wash hands. Offer water. Om Sarva Papa
Haram Divyam Gangheyam Nirmalam Janam Achmanyam Mayadatam Grihana Paramishwara.
We take a flower and fan the smoke in all directions. Om Vanaspati
Rasorbhuto Gandharyo Ganhotamaha Agreya Sarvadevanam Dhupoyam Pratigrahitam.
Devotees, let us take the blessings of the Havan, pass it over our body 3 times. Let's remain standing for Arati. While Arati is in progress, please feel free to come forward and worship the muritis and so on. Om Sajam Chavarate Samyuktam Vahina Yojitam Maya Deepam Grihana Devesha Trailokam Nimirapaham Yani Kani Chapapani Janmanta Kritani Cha Tani Tani Vishanti Pradakshana Pare Pare.
जय जगदीश हरे स्वामी जय जगदीश हरे भक्त जनों के संकट दास जनों के संकट क्षण में दूर करे ओम जय जगदीश हरे जो जावे पल पावे दुख बिन से मन का स्वामी दुख बिन से मन का सुख संपत्ति घर आवे सुख संपत्ति घर आवे कष्ट मिटे तन का ओम जय जगदीश हरे मात पिता तुम मेरे शरण कहो किसके स्वामी शरण कहो किसके तुम बिन और न दूजा तुम बिन और न दूजा आश करो किसकी ओम जय जगदीश हरे तुम पूरन परमात्मा तुम अंतर्यामी स्वामी तुम अंतर्यामी पार ब्रह्म परमेश्वर पार ब्रह्म परमेश्वर तुम सबके स्वामी ओम जय जगदीश हरे तुम करुणा के सागर तुम पालन करता स्वामी तुम पालन करता दीन दयालु कृपालु दीन दयालु कृपालु कृपा करो भरता ओम जय जगदीश हरे तुम हो एक अगोचर सबके प्राणपति स्वामी सबके प्राणपति किस विधि मिलो दया में किस विधि मिलो दया में तुमको मैं कुमति ओम जय जगदीश हरे दीन बंधु दुख हरता तुम रक्षक मेरे स्वामी तुम रक्षक मेरे करुणा हस्त बढ़ाओ करुणा हस्त बढ़ाओ शरण परा तेरे ओम जय जगदीश हरे विषय विकार मिटाओ पाप हरो देवा स्वामी पाप हरो देवा श्रद्धा भक्ति बढ़ाओ श्रद्धा भक्ति बढ़ाओ संतन की सेवा ओम जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे स्वामी जय जगदीश हरे भक्त जनों के संकट दास जनों के संकट जन में दूर करे ओम जय जगदीश हरे ओम जय जगदीश हरे ओम जय जगदीश हरे
प्रेम से बोले वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की. Devotees, let us put our hands together, close our eyes and bow our heads. In deep reverence, we come before you. We worship you. We seek your blessings. Om Mangalam Bhagwan Vishnu Mangalam Garudvaja Mangalam Pundarikaksha Mangalaya Tano Hari Mantrahinam Kriyahinam Bhaktihinam Janardanam Yat Pujitam Maya Deva Paripurnam Tadaswami Kaina Vacha Manasendriyeva Buddhyatmana va prakrite svabhavat karomi adhyat sakalam parasmai Narayanayate samarpayami Asato ma sadgamaya Tamaso ma jyotirgamaya Mrityorma amritam gamaya Tvameva mata Chapita Tvameva Tvameva bandho Chasaka Tvameva Tvameva vidya Dravinam Tvameva Tvameva sarvam Mama Deva Deva Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. Loudly and lovely we say Jaikar. Bole Shri Siddhi Vinayak Swami ki Umapati Mahadeva ki Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki सियावर रामचंद्र की पवन पुत्र हनुमान की आदि शक्ति जगदम्बा माता की बोल भाई सब संतन की प्रेम से बोले सत्य सनातन धर्म की प्रेम से बोले सत्य सनातन धर्म की प्रेम से बोले सत्य सनातन धर्म की. Devotees raise both hands and prostrate our entire beings before the divine. Om Namah Parvati Pate Hara Hara Mahadev. Shubhamastu. Kalyanamastu. Bhagwan's blessings to each and everyone. Tell everyone Sitaram. And do have your seat, Asani ji.